In today's video, we're going to show you the smartest way to track your crypto. And be sure to stick around for this entire video as we dive into the importance of having specific exit plans in place and how powerful that can be. I hope you enjoyed today's video and let's kick it off. Alright guys, today we're going to dive into MERLIN, the smartest way to track your crypto. Over the past 6 years, I've probably used 3, 4, maybe even more different types of crypto trackers, and I've always had different types of issues. And I'm sure the majority of you guys are using crypto trackers today, and that's just so important for every single investor to know your numbers, to know your average entry, to know your exits, etc. But the primary problem a lot of people experience using crypto trackers is getting an accurate cost basis. If you don't have an accurate cost basis and know your numbers for your portfolio exactly, what's the point of having a tracker? And one huge benefit of using MERLIN is it allows you to edit the specific cost basis and get those numbers to be accurate. And I've used a variety of trackers. I've used CoinMarketCap, I've used CoinStats, the old Blockfolio from years ago, my personal spreadsheet, but I wanted something that automated all of this and was connected to real-time prices, showed me analytics, but also had additional features like allowing me to cater specific exit plans for my holdings. And MERLIN is super easy to use with a variety of exchanges you're able to connect directly to so that it can track your actual holdings. It doesn't have trading permission, it is just viewing the actual balances so it can track your numbers. There's other wallets available and tons of future integrations with specific wallets for different assets like for XRP, for Casper, for Hashpack, for HBAR, or even Para for Algo. That way, for any holdings that you're staking for passive income with assets like HBAR or Casper, you're able to see your daily rewards without ever having to worry about inputting manual transactions every month or two to track your portfolio. So MERLIN already has a bunch of exchanges available, and there's a lot more exchanges and specific wallets coming in the future. And I was lucky enough to get early access into MERLIN, and this is a demo account I have here to show you some of these features. And I have my real account all set up with all of my holdings and each specific exit plan in place, and I can also be alerted when those targets are hit. And whether you want to grow your crypto portfolio to reach 100K, 1 million, or even 10 million, an exit plan is absolutely necessary. Knowing your specific numbers, having a plan, having the option to rebalance or even reinvest those profits, that's massive. And before going through and setting up exit plans for our holdings, let's run through the platform itself. So once you get started, you're going to be on this page where you can connect your exchanges, your wallets, or even manually input any holdings. Once you input your existing wallets and exchanges, it's going to show you your portfolio value up here. And you can see the price chart for your portfolio, you can see the daily gain or loss, and you can also see the total gain or loss. We have a pie chart available here of 7 different assets in this portfolio. When you hover over, you can see the dollar amount today of each of these assets and their holdings. And as we scroll down, we can see a list of our current assets and our current holdings. So here we can see the real-time price of each of these holdings. We can see the daily gain or loss and the total gain or total loss, next to our average paid or average entry for each of these holdings. Now, a really cool feature we're going to dive into is the exit plan. As you can see for XRP and Casper right here, we can see the word exit next to them. If I click show exit strategy, I can now see specific exit plans that I've made for any of these holdings and even edit the strategy altogether. Under the exchanges tab, we have exchanges, of course, so you can see the real-time value. You can see between different exchanges or wallets where your holdings are. And if you wanted to look at a specific exchange or specific crypto, you can do that as well. So I'll just click Coinbase. And as we see here, we just have one asset, a little bit of QNT sitting on Coinbase. Under the Markets tab, we can see the total market capitalization of the entire crypto asset class sitting just over 1 trillion today. We can see both Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance in the number of coins. Down here, you have the list of assets. You can go through multiple pages of this, and you can sort by price, market cap, 24-hour volume, etc. Under the Transactions tab, it of course shows you transactions. And if you have any errors with cost basis from it reading off an exchange or manual transactions, you can actually edit the cost basis to fix that. So right before doing this video, I actually manually added a transaction incorrectly and I showed the value of one Tether to be over $3,000. So it showed my overall loss because I paid that much for Tether and it was like a $50 million loss. And I was wondering what the heck is wrong with my cost basis. So I looked at the transactions, I filtered by amounts, and I saw one that clearly stood out. So all I did was made sure that the Tether price per Tether was $1 and it fixed it. So let's dive into the good stuff. I want to share how I structure exit plans specifically based off of my entry price. Now remember that this template is not financial advice. This is for conceptualization to show you an example of somebody with about $40,000 of XRP with higher targets to reach a $1 million portfolio. And I'm telling you, once you start playing with this exit strategy, deciding the percentage of your holdings that you want to sell, the percentage that you want to hold, playing with these numbers, playing with different targets and percentage returns, it is super fun. So arguably, one of the most important things to actually have in place for every single investor, specifically in crypto, where the risk reward is so asymmetric. There's high risk, but there's also insane potential for returns when these assets actually get ample volume and they go parabolic. And every single person that has been in the crypto asset class for more than one cycle, they understand the importance of having an exit plan. And there's a plethora of benefits for having an exit plan in place for every single investment. Having an exit plan provides clear objectives. It also avoids emotional decision making, panic buying, panic selling whenever prices are moving. It allows you to secure profits, at least some profits or all of it depending on the level. Exit plans also help in preserving and saving your capital. In the event of a market crash or just a steep market decline, having a planned exit can preserve your initial capital or a portion of your earned profits. One of the biggest benefits of an effective exit plan is it allows for reinvestment opportunities. By having liquid capital available to reinvest into other promising assets that have yet to budge or even buy back into the same asset later at a lower price. And with a proper exit plan in place, you can have peace of mind, which is so important going into future bull runs. It's not about nailing every single take profit, it's about putting yourself into good positions, assessing probability where you can have multiple favorable options whether the market goes up or down. And let's consider the most important qualities of an exit plan. An exit plan typically depends on your average entry price for that asset along with the price chart. Every person's initial capital, their personal financial situation, and their personal goals are different. A person with a very large position in a specific asset might have lower targets and they're going to be happy with those profits because they're still pretty large. Whereas a person with a smaller bag, maybe they just want to swing for the fences, recoup their initial investment relatively quickly, but keep a larger percentage of their holdings long term for much higher targets for that moon scenario. Another key attribute of a successful exit plan is multiple sell targets, not just one. You want to stagger those sell targets. You're not just betting on one single price to hit because if it doesn't, you're in trouble and you missed an opportunity to take profit, have liquid cash to buy back lower, improve your position, and reinvest profits. With several sell targets, you're de-risking at different levels. That way, if only your first two targets hit but you're still holding a big bag, you're actually de-risking, and if you set it up properly, you likely got your initial investment out plus profit. And from that perspective, you're getting a win regardless of what the market does. So I just wanted to provide some background information. Now let's talk about each of these targets and the way I structure it and my personal goal with target 1, 2, 3, or even 4 if you have one. So in this example, this investor invested into XRP at 28 cents with $42,000. So they yielded 150,000 XRP or 150K. They want to set up an exit plan where you're actually recouping your entire initial investment at the first target so that your remaining holdings are complete house money and pure profit, and if they go much higher, even better. So we have 150,000 XRP at 28 cents, $42,000 total. And in this example, if all these targets are hit, your total portfolio would be over $1 million. So 42K to 1 million is over a 23, almost 24x return on your money. So for the exit strategy, you can decide how much you want to sell or the percentage of your current holdings you want to sell. So we're actually going to stagger out and take profit on 75% of our holdings. So the cool thing is if I type in 75 here, it'll automatically populate the remaining to equal 100%. So we're going to be holding 25% of our portfolio that we're not going to be trading. So we have this many XRP we're going to sell in the targets below while also holding 25% of our holdings over 37,000 XRP long term. Now for each target 1, 2, and 3, I have different goals for each of these targets. My goal for target 1, if not target 2, to recoup my entire initial investment plus some profits. So for target 1, I put in 25% of the current holdings that we're going to sell at $1.50. We know we have an open gap at $1.59. It's also near the 786 Fib retracement. It's just a key level, and before an all-time high price is reached, XRP likely does retrace up to that level during a bull run. And taking a look at the XRP price chart on the weekly time frame, we can see a very large fair value gap in sell side imbalance. So we can see ranging from $1.44 to $1.56. So we're going to place that target right at 150, a round number, and you can go before those psychological numbers of $1 even and target 98 cents instead, because these often act as psychological levels. And taking a closer look at this fair value gap and just observing how the price actually behaved towards this level, we can see during this last cycle, we got a retracement. XRP did not break into a new all-time high price. Whether you think it was due to a lack of liquidity and volume because of all the exchange delistings or a 2+ year lawsuit, we didn't make it to an all-time high price. But what's interesting about this fair value gap is we can see the weekly candle bodies closed at the top of this gap to close it perfectly. So since I'm seeing this fair value gap actually being respected with price action behavior, I'm interested in this level. I know we did go a lot higher than that, as high as $1.95, maybe $1.96 on other exchanges. And it's always interesting comparing XRP and Bitcoin, as we can see Bitcoin got this retracement up to these retracements, came back down and found its bottom at the 0.059, very similar to what XRP has done, establishing support at this level at 30 cents multiple times, as you can see. Now, Bitcoin had a super sharp V-shaped recovery during this Bitcoin halving, and once we broke past this level again, we had that shot at an all-time high price and did, reaching much higher golden extensions. So for a shot at an all-time high price, we have to clear through that 50% Fibonacci retracement again. So I'm selling 25% at $1.50, and we can see the total value right there. So right at target 1, I'm getting out my initial investment of $42,000, which is exactly what this person paid for 150,000 XRP of 42,000. So from the 28-cent entry to $1.50, that's just over a 5x return, and I already recouped my initial investment, and now the remaining money that is sitting there is house money and sitting there for higher targets. And you can play with these percentages to see if you need a 3x or a 5x to get your initial investment out while also retaining long-term holdings. So target 1, I recouped my entire initial investment, and now I have house money and I'm investing without emotion. For target 2, I want to secure another predefined percentage of profit and also just reward myself for the investment success thus far. So for target 2, we're selling another 25% of these holdings at $5 or an all-time high price. And I chose $5 as a nice round number. It's near a lot of fib extensions I'm looking at, even if you're on the weekly or monthly time frame and just looking at those candle bodies. So now we can see the value and the number of tokens that we sold at this level. And then target 3, which is my last target in this example, it's the same process as target 2. I want to secure myself an even higher percentage of profit than target 2. So if target 3 or even target 4, if we had one, got hit, this allows you a huge opportunity for portfolio rebalancing. So your last targets that you have, whether it's a target 3 or target 4, this is huge for maximizing long-term gains on any holdings you have by staking them long-term, or you have the option to exit the position entirely with a huge win to go and repeat this process with another asset that is yet to generate any large returns. So in the future, I personally expect all-time high prices to be reached for a variety of assets, including XRP. That is not financial advice, but let's actually talk about a pessimistic case where we just get a retracement. What if instead of a massive bull run, we just get a retracement and only target 1 is hit at $1.50 and the other targets or a new all-time high isn't hit yet? Well, in that scenario, I'm still recouping my entire initial investment of $42,000. If XRP went to $1.50 and then months later crashed to 50 cents, I could buy back and improve my position. So in this example, we sold 28,000 XRP and had 42,000. So if we had that $42,187 left and we waited for a lower price, or if XRP went back down to 50 cents, if we bought back at 50 cents, we would now have over 84,000 XRP versus the 28,000, effectively 3xing your actual position. So even if one of my exit targets are hit, it's still a huge win, and then I can actually rebalance and do this whole process all over again. So hopefully that makes sense. Now as we scroll down and we can see 100% target allocated, that means that all of our exit plans were actually hit perfectly. And we can see our new portfolio value right here of 689,000 starting with 42,000. So we started with 42,000, we now have a total of 689K, and our actual return was 657,000. But we have to remember we still have 25% of our holdings actually being held, so 37,500 XRP. If all of these take profit levels were hit at $1.50, $5, and $9, at $9, our 37,500 XRP would actually be worth over 337,000. If we added that to our actual total that we sold of 689K, that is just over $1 million, or over 1,026,000. So if there is a future bull cycle where a variety of assets create new highs, $9, technically 10 or 11 bucks is if XRP were to follow what Bitcoin and Ethereum did last cycle. Anything is possible, and if you think these numbers are too conservative or too high, you can adjust them. Maybe you're super patient, but you still want to de-risk at $1.50, take some profit at $5, but instead of $9, you think we're going all the way to 20. You can visually look at this and see what would be the best scenario, but then also look at the price chart and kind of decide what's realistic. And the cool thing about this is you can also add your estimated taxes. So let's say your tax bracket is 22%, you're going to do sell oldest first. It'll now show me my estimated taxes based on how long I've held the asset and whether I'm paying short-term or long-term capital gains, and then I can decide, is it worth it? Do I want to hold longer for some of my holdings so that I can get that long-term capital gains rate and save more money? So this is a great feature to be able to input your specific tax bracket so you know exactly how much money you need to put aside for taxes, and it can even just help you when making an exit and making more educated planning and decisions. Another cool feature is if you come up to the top right of the screen and click this bell icon, then you have the option for notification settings. And here I can get email alerts or text alerts when the asset actually reaches close to my exit target or actually hits it. So then I can get a text when the price is close between 5 to 15% of my target, and for any exit plans, I don't have to check my phone multiple times per day monitoring the market 24/7, so it can save me time. And overall, playing with this exit plan and finding the best strategy that suits you is just super fun. So I absolutely love this feature. You can do this with any type of asset. You can play with the allocation. You could sell less if you wanted to and hold longer and wait for much higher targets as well. But the important thing is to visually see this and play with the numbers and have a plan actually set up that you can implement in the future. And I encourage you guys to check out Merlin. I have the official link in the top of this YouTube video description along with in the pinned comment. You can also find it at the very top of my link tree right here. Using the link below, you can create a free account and test out these features for 30 days free. If you fall in love with these features and decide to use it long term, it is $18.88 per month. With an annual plan, it's actually 10% cheaper. Yes, there are other crypto trackers in this market, but the ability to get very granular and actually edit the cost basis is very limited. So I know the exit plan feature specifically is super cool, and that alone could make all of the difference in improving your overall ROI for future bull runs. And here you have unlimited transactions, you have an exit plan tool, you have exit target alerts, you have a tax estimator with a continuous cost basis. With this real-time information and analytics, you're in a position to make much better decisions. So be sure to check out the link in the video description. I encourage you guys to try it out for 30 days free, test out these exit plans, and actually look at these numbers. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.